Hey everybody, welcome back to Maranatha Call. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up video for you guys on the last video that I did on the November 19th blood moon. So I got a comment on that video, that last video I did on it, and the comment made me kind of look into it a little bit more and research it even deeper, and I found out some interesting stuff that I hadn't known about it before that I want to share with you guys in this video really quick. And also some other stuff I wanted to kind of clarify and present to you a little bit more accurate in a better way, because some of the stuff I did in the last video was just slightly off, and so I wanted to just tweak that last video a little bit, because I don't want to give you guys any information that isn't as exact as I can get it, because the heavens are like God's clock, and I don't think that there's any detail in his heavenly clock that doesn't have significance. It's all there for a reason, even the smallest details. So I just wanted to do another video here and just present you with what I found out when I did a little bit of a deeper look into it, because it stood out to me and it's really interesting. So as I looked in more detail at this sign, I noticed that as the moon is going across the sky, and as soon as it enters the constellation Taurus, it hits its eclipse. It goes into a blood moon sign right about the shoulder portion of the bull. So just like this slide will show you here, it goes into its blood moon phase right there at the shoulder of the bull. In my last video, I had it like kind of right in the middle, up towards the head portion of the sign. It's actually in the shoulder portion of the bull. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Just like you see here, the moon still goes into its eclipse in Taurus, in the constellation. So in that respect, nothing really changes, but I just wanted to clarify that a little bit better for you guys. Also, there's two things that stood out to me that I noticed that I wanted to share kind of as an addition to my talk on it yesterday, but I'll show you here that as the moon is moving across the sky through the constellation Taurus, it exits the constellation through the middle of its two horns, just like through the middle. It's really unique, and it stood out to me. I think it is just makes the sign more poignant, because it's like, I don't know, it just somehow in my mind it just highlights those horns, which as the stars show in the constellation are like showcasing the meaning of Taurus. Is, you know, it's and horns are talked about all the time in the Bible as being like a symbol of strength. So it's just like it adds on that utter judgment of just God pouring out his wrath is the picture that I'm getting when I look at it. So and again, I don't want to say anything like "thus saith the Lord." This is exactly what it means. It's worth bearing in mind, and I like to talk about it and just keep it in the back of your mind, because it's true that the Lord speaks through these signs. So the other thing is that this blood moon is actually technically it's a partial lunar eclipse, which means it's not fully a blood moon, even though it's a blood moon. It's kind of it's really unique, because it is 99.9% a full blood moon, and the other 0.1% that is not a part of the eclipse makes it look like, and I'll show you a picture here, it makes this blood moon look like it's got this tiny little sliver of white. And that was really interesting. That really stuck out to me, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. In addition to that, I was talking earlier with my brother Gabe about it, just asking him, you know, without telling him what I thought, I just asked him, what do you think about that? What's the first thing that you think about when I tell you that? So I told him, and he just thought about it, and the first thing that came to his mind, he said that it makes him think of the righteous remnant that will be saved. And or just like the righteous remnant. And that stuck out to me, and I told him after he said that I had the same impression. That's what I thought of as well. Probably because earlier this morning when I was reading in the Bible, I happened to read Romans 9, 27 here, and I'll just read it quick for you. It says, it's Paul talking here, and he says, Isaiah also cries out concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, the remnant will be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because the Lord will make a short work upon the earth. So I read that before doing any of this research and looking up, before even figuring out that that's the way this blood moon is going to be. I read that, and then I looked into it a little deeper and found out that there's going to be that little tiny minute sliver of white on the moon. And again, nothing is by accident. There's no detail that is overlooked, I think, by the Lord, especially when it comes to the faithful witness in the sky. So when I read that verse, I'm wondering, and this is just an interesting thought that popped into my head as I was looking at this celestial sign. I'm reading this verse, and I'm wondering if there's like a dual fulfillment to it, where God is showing how when the tribulation period covers, the earth and comes upon the world, just being like the picture of that blood, in the blood moon, that there will be a remnant that is saved out of it, of like specifically Israel, because that's what the verse is talking about. Specifically Israel, because they'll say Jesus will return to them when they say, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." So it's like a picture of that blood moon of like Israel, the remnant, being washed clean in the blood of Jesus, because they're saying, "Blessed is he," and thus being made white as snow, just like that sliver. So it's interesting. I know that we've probably talked about it in earlier videos too, though, that right now we're in the age of grace, like the church age. But as soon as the rapture happens and we're out of here, the main focus then is going to shift back to Israel, as being like it's to bring Israel in. I don't know, that's just a thought, so just pray about it yourself. We're going to keep looking up and keep watching, but these signs there's a lot of them, and I just think they're very important, so they're worth looking into and praying about, and to keep your heart open to what the Lord is doing, because we are in the season of his return. So God bless you guys. Until next time, we'll see you later. Keep looking up. Blessings to you. Shalom.